sauce.
Putaria, sandungueo.
That is out in the night, paying it for it and it don't matter the price. Boom boom more than now, I get moving so right. Get it shaking tonight, tama todo rulay. If you know me, then you know that I would never deny. Tengo mi terio and I will show you tonight. So the putaria has my future so bright, bringing it to the light. Un foqueo rulay. I said this tape is not for ignorant babosos. Steady rep that 718. Melting pot that done made me famoso. That's from New York City, verdadero sancocho. Invoco al un vale yo. Me monto y me da la hinchazón. Spitting out, keep it.
What it do, Knicks Universe. Welcome back to another episode of the KnicksEnFuego show. I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañeras tonight. I got the lovely Karla and of course the fly one, Nikki. Nikki, the queen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, trying to stay warm, preparing for this snow, 3 to 6 inches, I think, on tomorrow night. So I don't know if y'all getting snow, but we definitely about to get bombed.
Hold on, I'm about to look right now because I hate the snow. Snow. Like, I didn't know it was supposed to snow.
I tell you, ladies, last night coming out of the gym, me and my girl, we went to the gym around like 6 o'clock. We got out around 7, and it was snowing. I felt so. You know, when you get out of the gym, you're supposed to feel good, like, oh, I just killed it. And then I walk outside and see that it's snowing. I'm like, this is horrible. Like, why do we live in this world that we live in right now?
I know. Wait, it had to be yesterday because I remember I was on FaceTime with my homegirl, and she's flipped over there because she's like, "Look, bitch, it's snowing," and I'm like, "What? Why?" I did see right now that we're supposed to get snow on Sunday, 80% chance. I don't know how much.
Well, hopefully it's not much. Just to let everybody know, if you guys can, smack that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys open the description, follow Nikki, follow Skills on X. Make sure you guys follow KnicksEnFuego as well on X. Follow Uptown Sports TV as well on X, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever there's a social media outlet out there. Make sure you guys are following us, right? I want to shout out Jacob Petruzzi, Leonard Franklin's in the building, our guy Jonathan. Shout out to Jacob. Heck to Florida, confirmed. Absolutely, I'll be in Florida for spring training, that first week of spring training, February 21st through the 28th, Jacob. So if you're out there, hit me up, my guy. But ladies, we got to talk about the Knicks because we losing games, we're winning games. Josh Hart is calling out some of his teammates. Tom Thibodeau's upset. There's a lot of bochinche going on with the New York Knicks right now. So Nikki, Karla, whoever wants to take it, the floor is yours. Lead the convo.
First, we got to say happy birthday to Theo Tibbs.
Yes, happy birthday to Uncle Tibbs, Theo Tibbs.
Feliz cumpleaños. Get a win today. Yes, get a win. Oh, it's been a roller coaster.
Yo, I'm over this team. It's like 1 minute I'm happy with them, the next is like, yo, yeah, joke. I don't even want to watch it no more. Like Nikki, I think I was telling you, Nikki, the other day. I'm like, yo, I'm starting to get to that point where I'm kind of getting over. I'm getting that feeling back when last year when the Mets started their season and it was so bad. Like we could not get one win that it was just like, I don't even want to watch the Mets no more. I don't even care to watch a game. I don't care. Like I'll hear about it until we start picking up. Oh crap, we're winning a game. Now 2 games, now 3. Oh, okay. And I'm feeling right now, even it's almost like basically the middle of the season that I'm like, I don't even care to watch a game now. It's like I'll hear about it, I'll listen to the game, I'll read it about the game, but come talk to me when I feel like, oh okay, the Knicks on the run. All right, let me come pay attention back to the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't even think we're game by game. I think we're quarter by quarter.
What minute by minute with these fans, Nikki? What are you talking about?
That's true, right?
No, but when it comes to the team, right, is a lot of emotion that's out there. First of all, I got to say, Jonathan, thank you, because I saw Roki Sasaki is signing with the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers, they just
he really is?
They just keep on getting better. Yeah, it just was announced like 15, 20 minutes ago. Roki is going to the Dodgers.
They keep getting everybody.
They cannot stand the LA Dodgers. First of all, shout out to the new mic that I got. It has colors. It helps my ADHD, so shout out to the colors. But I cannot stand the LA Dodgers. The rich just keep on getting rich.
That.
Yeah, It just happened. Yeah, so if you're a Dodgers fan, shout out to you and your fan base. You know, shout out to your team, but I ultimately hate you. I know Nikki and Skills, they feel the same way because they're Met fans, and you know, we wish you all the best. But back to the New York Knicks. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blaming. That game against the Detroit Pistons, I want to start with that game, right? If you guys want to chime on any other games, you're more than welcome to bring them up. But I want to start with Detroit because that game against Detroit, Mikal Bridges had a good game. Jalen Brunson scored over 20 points. I know Karl Anthony Towns didn't play as well. Did he, Karl? I think Cat did play in that game against the Pistons. He had over 20 points as well. So collectively, our guys, they scored over 20 points. They had good individual games, but as a team, they were horrible defensively. I see a lot of Knicks fans wanting to blame the coach. They want to blame Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. Maybe Josh Hart is calling out OG Anunoby in the media. I don't know. But for me, they have to fix it together as a team. Like Jay Boogie said last week on the show, he wants to see a team meeting. He wants Ian Begley to put out a tweet that the team had a team meeting behind closed doors so they can figure out what's the issues that's happening on the court. I think they're not healthy completely, right? Deuce McBride just came back from his injury. He needs some time to get back to where he was before he got injured. But I just think that a lot of people just pointing the finger and just blaming anyone just to blame people. It's January 17th. We're still the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Relax, calm down. We got destroyed by OKC, and you didn't want to see that. But still, relax, calm down. It's not even the All-Star break.
Yeah, and not only that, the whole OKC situation, I think, is null and void because they're handing out ass kickings like it's free.
Yeah.
You just saw Cleveland, then they did Boston too. Then not only that, the same way we're on our roller coaster, Boston just lost to Toronto like 2 days ago. So we're not the only ones going up and down. It's an 82 game season. There's over 26 teams. Everybody's gonna have their whole motion of the ocean have if you want to go that way. But it's definitely a PTSD in regards to the fans looking to pinpoint somebody the blame, especially OG when you're the one who got the biggest check out of everybody and you didn't give the coin to save the other person. So I just think right now the fans are looking to blame everybody. And as much as there were 15 different spaces when the Knicks lost to Detroit, when they won Philly, I think I only seen one active space. So when we win, is not as loud as if we lose. So the same way you bitch when we lose, you got to give them support when we get these close games, especially a overtime game in Philly.
That game was stressful.
You know, there was a phrase that we always used to throw out there, especially on Knicks Twitter when we were bad. It's called Knicks for clicks. And it seems now with some Twitter spaces, it's like Knicks for ear hustles, right? Because it seems like it's just an ear hustling game. You want to talk bad about the team when we're losing, but when we're winning, it's a lot of quiet. People are quiet. They aren't holding spaces. Maybe it's because they're at work. They can't pop up a space like normally, but I always try to be a level-headed fan and say, keep that same energy. If the team is winning, keep the same energy like when the team lose. That's all I got to say about that. What's your thoughts, Karla?
Right, it's true. First of all, shout out to Marvelous. Hey, yeah, listen, I feel like this fan base definitely wants to say they want to point finger at somebody. They're not okay where not knowing. Damn, do we blame the coach, the staff, the players, players? Like, who do we play? So at this point, like Nikki's saying, everybody's trying to point fingers at somebody, just whatever. And as to your point too, Hector, I feel like it's a lot easier to talk shit about a team, person, whatever. It's easier to talk shit than to sit there and talk. Now, don't know why. I think that's just human nature. It's so much easier to just talk shit. Like, for real, it is, and that sucks because it's like, yeah, when we're winning, we should be supporting them just the same way as when they're losing. Yeah, it's frustrating to see them lose and all, especially games where we shouldn't be losing. Like, we should be winning these games, and it shouldn't be like, especially the way we lose too. I feel like a lot it's how we lose, which I get that. It's very frustrating. But at the same time, it's like, all right, so we're just gonna support them when they're losing and not when they're winning. Like, I think earlier I had set a clip with Josh from he did the interview in the rooming that he says himself, he sees that he be on Knicks Twitter clearly, and he sees it that how, it's frustrating for these fans. They talk a lot all this shit when we're losing, but when winning, it's like, okay, Like, so the players see that stuff, and I feel like that's something really big. We're human. I mean, it will be wrong for me to not say like it does impact them. I'm pretty sure it does impact them when they see like, damn, so yeah, have all this much to say when we lose, but when we win, where's that? Yeah, it's like where's that? It's just like, oh, okay, congratulations, and that's it. Like I'm pretty sure that has to not fully make them feel type of way, but I'm sure they, it's in their head, like, damn.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they're humans at the end of the day. I feel some type of way if somebody doesn't like a tweet that I put out there on Twitter. If they say something iffy in the comment section, I'm ready to find their IP address and show up at their crib. You feel me? I want to shout out the channel chat before you continue. Shout out to my guy Choplo in the building. Uncle Chop, how you doing, my guy? John McDonald is in the building. My guy G Money is in the building. How you doing? Uncle Drew is in the building. Shout out to Uncle Drew, who says, big up to the squad. Hey. Salute. We are better than we're playing. Hopefully we will get our ish together. 100%, Uncle Drew. Appreciate you like always. So now that we got that out the way, right, when it comes to Knicks fans and their emotions, we have the All-Star game, right? And every week on this show, we are going to bring up Knicks fans. You got to go out there and you got to vote for our guys. Go out there and vote for Karl Anthony Towns. Go out there, vote for Jalen Brunson. Do what you got to do to get our guys to the All-Star game. And with that, I got a little video that I want to play. It's a lot of hee-hees and ha-has. So we're going to play this video and we'll be right back.
And I heard that she wanna show me who she be. I'm kinda fucking with it. Show me some more. Bitch, we tatted head to toe. Could give a fuck. Story wrote. You wanna tweak it up with me, and I'ma show you how that go. I might swerve in that corner. Whoa. Bitch, hold on tight. Cause I'm tweaking this bitch. Not letting shit go. And I heard that she wanna show me who she be. I'm kinda fucking with it. Show me.
And you guys know, you guys all been in the bodega growing up, going to get a bacon, egg, and cheese with that mix playing on in the background. But I want to ask you, ladies, Nikki, I'll toss it over to you and I'll bring up the graphic. Thank you also, Karla, for putting it in our group chat. When you look at the voting for the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference right now, for the East, the front court is Giannis, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, Pablo Banchero, Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Jimmy Butler, Franz Wagner, Joel Embiid, and Jared Allen. For the guards, the top voters are LaMelo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, then Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Jordan Poole, and Tyler Hero. Nikki, Scales, let's get your take on where our guys sit when it comes to the votes.
I think Jalen needs to be higher. I'm not mad at Cat. Honestly, where Cat sits, I'm okay if he stays there. And especially with the format this year, I'm not even sure how it's supposed to work because I don't think it goes by position now. So who knows how that's even going to work anyway. LaMelo has no reason being up there. Even Embiid at number 8, the man played in like 6 games. How the hell are you even up there yourself? So, yeah.
It's a lot of players that I'm here like, how are you on here in like top 10 to begin with? Like, you barely played a game, you barely done anything. Like LaMelo, like who's voting for you? Damian too. It's like, who's voting for you? Like, how are y'all like up there where versus us? It's like, why are our guys not like higher, especially Jalen? My main thing, I agree with Nikki. My main thing, the main person I do, like, don't get me wrong, I want to see all our boys go to All-Star. But my main person is definitely the captain. Like, he deserves to go to All-Star. Definitely him. Like, I'll be very, very upset if he doesn't make it and Cat makes it. Like, judge me all you want, but it's just like, yo, that's our captain. He's, let's be for real, he's been holding it down a lot. And the fact that he took this pay cut too to come back to this team, to stay with this team, and now he's I think he deserves it. He deserves it. And it's just like, all right, but why are we? I feel like I see on Twitter everybody's voting, but he's just still there, just not moving, hasn't gone anywhere really. And it's just like, what's happening? Like, who's behind these votes? Like, who we gotta talk to, because the math ain't mathing.
No. The math definitely not mathing. Like Chop said, with the cat sleeping on the bread, La Mega playing in the background. Absolutely, you guys. Everybody knows the manager in the bodega is the cat that is sleeping on the bread. You're not with the manager of the bodega, you will get kicked out. But to your point, Karla, it's a popularity contest, right? And this is something that I noticed last year when the voting was going on. When you take the voting and see where players are ranked in the votes and how many votes they're getting. And when you compare that to the top players used in NBA 2K, and I kid you not, it's identical. When you look at the votes, like last year, I was like, why is Jalen Brunson not getting that many votes? Why is Damian Lillard getting more votes than Jalen Brunson? So when I took that deep dive last year, I'm trying to find it right now, so I'll keep looking while we're talking. When I took the deep dive last year, Damian Lillard is used more in NBA 2K than Jalen Brunson is used when it comes to your team and you're creating a team. So what people got to understand is a lot of the young kids are the ones who are playing these video games, and a lot of the young kids are the ones that are just on the computer voting day after day, multiple times a day. They could go to the computer lab in school. They could do it when they're at home. All you got to wait is just 4 hours after you vote. So if you're a kid that you want to vote for your favorite player or the players that you use the most whenever you're playing a video game, you have enough time in the day to vote multiple times rather than myself, rather than Nikki, or rather than Karla, because you know what? We got things to do with our life. We got stuff to do. You guys have kids to take care of, right?
I forget.
Yeah,
I
wake
remember
up
in the morning, but then I'm like, oh shit, now I can vote. My bad. Let me try.
No, but that's the same generation who chose LeBron over Jordan. So I can't be that man. Like, okay, these bums are gonna go with the Ball family. You already know they got their own little clique, so who knows how many people they got voting. So I'm not even mad. Hopefully they do what they gotta do. I think it was hilarious though in the roommates episode, the last one, how Josh said he ain't want to go. He said, I'd rather be on the beach. Yeah, he said, I want to be
I'd
in
rather be
Spain.
at the
Like,
beach.
don't,
Yeah.
he's like, don't vote for me. It's
I want
insane.
to shout out my guy Pete Kennedy, who is in the building. Subway Sports Talk. Pete Kennedy from WFAN. If you guys aren't following Pete Kennedy and his amazing podcast, please make sure you guys go and follow our guy. He also is one of the hosts with Theo Al and friends that come on Thursday night on Uptown Sports TV. Shout out to my guy Pete for being in the chat. Now go ahead. I'll toss it over to you, ladies, because you know one of the topics that I wanted to bring up with the All-Star voting, with players that people love to just throw out there because of popularity and Knicks for clicks. Why are people talking about Stephen Curry being traded to the New York Knicks? Why are people creating articles and are circulating articles around Stephen Curry being traded to the New York? What year is it that was still circulating this sad-ass story with Steph Curry and the New York Knicks? We lost out on Steph Curry. Why are we still circling the story?
The days of getting players before they retire are done. We've done that plenty 10, 15 years ago. We're not doing that shit again. And especially for Steph, who you're going to trade. I'm not getting rid of Jalen. You've seen how many times on TikTok they go, Jalen or Dame Lillard, pick who you want. Jalen or this one. I'm riding with Jalen the whole way. I'm sorry, but for Steph, no. Respectfully, stay where you are, but no, thank you.
Me too. Don't get me wrong. I love Steph. Like, that's one of my top players too. But do I want you in the Knicks? Yes and no, but more to no, because what we got to give up to get him. Let's be for real. What do we have to give up to get? It's not we got to give up to get one pick and one player or whatever. No. We're gonna have to give up a lot just to get him. Yeah. And then what is he gonna want?
Yeah, not even does that. We're gonna have to give up a lot. One, he's making a lot of money. We're gonna have to give up picks. Also, when you look at the age, how many more years can he? This is not elite MVP level Steph Curry anymore. No, this is Steph Curry towards the end of his career. So if we were to get Steph Curry, how many more solid years do we have? 2 or 3 years?
That's my thing too. I don't want to take that gamble on him. Where okay, let's say we get him, and what if that first year he is? Let's be for real. You got me? Like, yeah, he's top player and everything, but like how we said, he's towards the end of his career.
That's a move that Isaiah Thomas does.
Yes.
Still. That's a move that Larry Brown does. That's a move that the old Knick regimes do back in the days. That's not what Leon Rose is doing. And just like Kareem Grant says, Steph Curry's to the Knicks. That's some clickbait nonsense. 100%, Kareem. Shout out to you. Nostalgic Nick is in the building. Shout out to Nostalgic Nick. And then my lovely girlfriend who says Uptown Sports TV chat guidelines. No hate speech or bullying will be allowed or tolerated. If you violate the terms of services, you will be ejected from the chat without a warning. We're trying to have nice, dope conversations about sports. That's it.
Oh yeah, but no, we're not taking him. And then can you imagine someone asking Steph to come off the bench in a world where we can keep Jalen? If you're gonna
Right.
keep Jalen, Steph will come off the bench. He ain't doing it.
Of
No,
No.
no
course
way in
not.
hell. Like
He's
no.
never came off the bench. So it's like, why would he do it now? Just because he's in New York?
The
Yeah,
only
no.
the only way that I want this is shout out to Jonathan, top moderator in the building. We're sitting at 11 likes. We got over 150 people in the building rocking with us. If you guys can, smack that like button. If you're watching us on X or Facebook or Instagram, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. The only way that I would want to entertain a Steph Curry trade to the New York Knicks, giving up Jalen Brunson. The only reason why I'll be like, you know what, I'll bring that on. Is because I would love to fucking see the Twitter spaces with like State and everybody else losing their mind because Stephen Curry is old as hell and he can't do what he used to do back in the day. That's the only reason why
The
I would
crash
want
out that will happen.
Steph Curry to come over here just so we could entertain and listen to those Nick Twitter spaces that are
Oh
going to
yeah.
lose their mind because Steph Curry is about to retire.
Not only that, I always said Steph was part of the Illuminati for the fact that that man just throws the ball como loco and it just goes to the
Yo,
basket.
right? You
Whatever
know, like videos
brujeria
that
he
shit like
did,
that?
like
That should
show
be like,
Jalen.
but how? Like, how does that even happen? Like, you're like all the way on the other side of the court and you
He
throw all the way
just
on the other side
throws
of the
the
court?
ball and it goes right in. And I'm like, can you show Jalen how to do that? Whatever prayer you did, candle you lit, I don't know what, but
Right?
go show Jalen that.
Whatever salt you threw on the floor, share that recipe with us right now.
Yes,
I want to shout
Yo,
please.
out Jorge
crazy.
Ortiz in the building who says, "What's up, familiar?" I agree. The 5 starters we got now is all we need for a championship this season and a few other seasons to come. What we need right now is shooters on the bench, and that's where our issue is our bench. Last year, our bench was one of our strengths. That's what people kept talking about, how strong the Knicks bench is. But when you have to trade from your strength, when you're trading Dante away, when you're trading Julius Randle away, when you're trading picks away in order to get certain players, you're going to need to replace that. Now it's up to the front office to get creative, to go out there on the trade market to see what they could get. You see the rumors with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson may be our only asset right now when it comes to trades. You got Mitchell Robinson, you got Jericho Sims that's out there as well. That's a possible trade candidate. The way that Hawk Purdy has stepped up and people in the organization has fallen in love with Hawk Purdy. You just got to be able to maneuver properly. This is why you lean on the Brock Alder, the capologist, the people in your front office to try to get those trades to take you over the hump. You don't need to go out there and trade for a superstar to get a superstar to come off the bench. You just need to get the right role players to add to the core that you have currently.
And it's funny how you say that because I always said since last year that I think Dante will make his way back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
I
reason why he was
also, I
so,
miss Dante.
I
Honestly,
think, yeah.
I miss him. Like, from off the bench, I miss
And he
him.
was so in Fogo now or mad when we traded him. Then I think it's more than a coincidence how he's not playing today. Like, bro, you just
I
played.
wouldn't be
Like, what
surprised.
happened?
I was gonna bring that up. I wanted to bring that up. That I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised. The reason why he does like he's out is because he's just like, yo, like he still feels a type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I 100% feel like he still feels a type of way.
Of course.
I don't think he's gonna get over it. And then especially with everything that's happening right now with
Mhm.
this team and all these trade
Mhm.
talks and all this good stuff that I'm pretty sure he's probably like, yo, like, why couldn't I stay? Like, why did I have to be part of that package? I mean, I hope, like, I agree with Nikki, and I think a lot of us are like, I hope we could somehow get him back.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but somehow this season, if not this season, next season. But I
Oh, yeah.
feel like that, I honestly think with this team right now that we have, I would like to see him on this team. And part of me kind of feels like I think he might be the missing piece.
Yeah.
The
No.
missing piece
Mhm.
has to coming off the bench where I feel the energy that he would bring, especially with the threes, because that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, we live and die by the three, which is freaking crazy to me. Where it's just like, yo, why can we never like be like all these other teams, all these other players? The threes are never an issue, but for us, it's like I don't know what it is. Like, there's nights that we're like, oh, okay, and then
Mhm.
a lot of other nights we're like, what's happening? We can't shoot down any threes. Like we forgot how to play. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I said it on last week's episode that the perfect player to have coming off the bench would be Dante. Dante would be the perfect sixth man to have for us. When you look at our guys, we know Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. They have the ability to knock down a 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
Dante is lights out. Dante is the guy that when you're coming out of a timeout, if the opposing team just went on a 10-0 run, a 9-0 run, and you're trying to stop their momentum, Dante is the guy that you want coming out of a timeout to knock down that three to stop the opposing team's momentum. We don't have that right now. Like I said, the guys that we have, they're capable of knocking down a 3-point shot if they're open. They're not just Reggie Miller. They're not Kyle Cover. They're not somebody that you could give them the ball like, yo, we really need you to knock this down. Karl Anthony Towns has that ability, but I lean more of Dante being able to be that player if you kind of understand what I'm saying. And when you look at Dante's stats from last year to now, all of his stats are down. His minutes from last year to now are down. Last year, he played 29.1 minutes per game. This year, he's at 26.4. Last year, he was at 15.5 points per game. This year, he's at 11 points per game. His field goal percentage last year was 44%. He's at 39 right now. Last year, his 3-point percentage was at 40. He's at 36 right now. So something is not right with Dante. He's just not comfortable in Minnesota. And I can't blame him. Who the fuck wants to go to Minnesota? Who wants to go to no disrespect to the city of Minnesota. I heard they got Great Lakes and shit like that, but who wants to go to Minnesota? How many of y'all, if you guys have any of your Puerto Rican cousins living in Minnesota? I don't know. I don't have any cousins living in Minnesota. Yeah. Even though Dante's a white boy, he's a spicy white boy. You can tell he don't belong in Minnesota himself.
You don't. And I thought it was funny how the last game when they were calling him the big ragu.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The Knicks fans and the Knicks community gave him that name.
Yeah.
So the fact that you took that, they were calling him that on, I think, what was it, TNT, the last game? No, ESPN. They were calling him that there. And I'm like, it's funny because technically I know New York's the trendsetters, but that's still following him. So you can't tell me that's still going to ride with him, and in the back of his mind, he's not thinking that. And you know, Jalen, let's be real, Jalen pulls the strings. Jalen's one that's like, okay, we got to do this. So who knows? I love that. I love what's his name? Deuce. I don't think Deuce is a piece, but I really think if you put Deuce next to Dante, he can learn off of him too, because he's hit or miss when it comes to the threes. All we need, if he was more consistent, I'll be more comfortable letting him take the Dante role because he got the defense down pat. When it comes to defense, I got no problem riding with Deuce. It's just a matter of getting him more consistent with the three.
Yeah, more confident. He's still a baby in a sense. Like he's out of all the babies, he's the only one now that's like he's trying. He's trying to have that big role too, to be like, okay, I'm coming off the bench. I need to make an impact. You know? Like, and he has. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, we all see it. He has been. But I definitely do agree with Nikki that if Dante was here, I feel with both of them coming off the bench, the energies, I feel whoever is coming off the bench would be different for what it is right now. That's just me. But I honestly feel like it would be way different, in a good way, not a bad way.
And this is what people got to understand. When it comes to our minutes distribution, our most important minutes are the Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns minutes when they're not on the floor. Those are the most important minutes. When Jalen Brunson and Cat aren't on the floor, who's stepping up to score? Who's filling up the stat sheet? Who is out there keeping your offense in the game, keeping your defense in the game while our two main guys are off the floor? And that's something that Tom Thibodeau has to figure out. A lot of the time, after watching the game, when you go back to the box, I hate going to the box score and seeing all four of our starters playing over 40 minutes. I think that is irresponsible. We're seeing it right now. Jalen Brunson missed the game. Karl Anthony Towns, he missed the game. Now he's playing through injuries. Credit to Karl Anthony Towns, because what was the one thing that people kept calling him? Soft. They kept saying he was soft like baby food, soft like baby poo-poo. Well, guess what? We see a different version of Karl Anthony Towns. And somebody put it out. I saw it on Twitter earlier today, and shout out to them. I'm forgetting their name. 2 years ago or a year ago, when people kept talking about the rumors, Joel Embiid to the Knicks and all this, I was one of those Knicks fans. I'm guilty as one of those Knicks fans wanting to trade for Joel Embiid. I take that back and I eat my words. Carl Anthony Towns is the center that we
Yeah.
have, and I'm happy that we got Carl Anthony Towns over Joel Embiid.
Hell yeah, because
like why would you
Don't-
want Joel Embiid here? Like, let's be for
Don't
real,
hate me,
Hector.
Carla. All right,
Damn.
I'm sorry. Don't hate me, Carla. Okay, please. The
I'm
show got
like,
canceled. All right, Carla's about to cancel the show.
What? Where I was like, yo, can't work with Hector no more. Because how would you want Joel Embiid on this? Be for real, Hector.
To be fair, I was
he's your
I was
op.
trying to get off of Julius Randle. To be fair.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. But that's the real paper man. He's the
Yes.
definition. The
Yeah.
definition. And it's funny because I think it was Billy who wrote it on the timeline. How Maxey should request a trade. I would.
yeah,
You're the only one riding with this whole team right now. So at
And
this
he's
point, I don't
been
blame
really
him at
good.
all. Yeah.
He's been really good, especially the last game that I saw. I was listening to it while I was making my badges, and I'm here like I couldn't keep thinking about Maxey. I kept hearing Maxey, and I'm hearing, so I'm like, yo, this kid is really good. Like, why are you still on the team?
He's
Mhm.
like Quickly, the Philly Quickly.
Yeah, I was just like, why? Like, that was another play that I was like, damn, he would be a good piece. I feel he will be a good piece for us too, especially coming off the bench at least. If
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah, that man ain't gonna come off the bench.
and I know that was my
Mm-mm.
thing too. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but I was open to it. Like I thought about it. I was like, I was like, I wouldn't mind him on our team. I mean, where would he be coming off the bench or starting five? I was like, that would be the only.
Right.
So what we doing? Like, how is this gonna work? Like, who we gotta kick off from the starting five?
I want to shout out our guy Jacob Petruzzi in the chat who's listening right now. Jacob is our resident statistician. He's always breaking and dropping the stats for us. But according to Ian Begley, Carl Anthony Towns is not playing tonight. Jericho
Well,
Sims
because of
will
that
be starting
finger, man.
because of that thumb.
That had me so tight last game. Why was he playing with his thumb like that?
Yeah,
But they said Joker played. Joker had the same exact injury, and I think he ended up being like a all-star or something. It's the same injury that Joker had. So I think they were just testing it. But we already beat Minnesota once. So it's
I don't
like,
want to. I'm scared. It's like
I'm scared too.
yeah. My thing is like, okay, I get it. Like shout out to Cat for playing. Like not for nothing. 'Cause my ass would have been like, nah, I'm playing. Like I ain't trying to get injured.
Right.
Like we're good. I don't care. Like
right.
sorry, but not sorry. Like I'm just not trying to get injured. Especially what was it? It was like towards the end of the game. No, that there was a play that happened that he kind of like busted up again his thumb.
Yeah, he was holding it or something.
Right. Yeah. That I got scared right there. That I was like, yo, please let nothing happen right now, because that's the last thing we need. Where yeah, it's a thumb injury. It's not like it's gonna take fucking months, to heal, but that could make a difference in our team. Where who knows? It could be like, okay, maybe we need a Cat to sit down. We could be better. Or what if it's not? We're not better. We're like now really dog doo doo. Like I would cry.
Well, one
injured right now. Like no.
I think it would suck, one, because Carl Anthony Towns is having such a great first season with New York Knicks. He's up there in the conversation when it comes to the MVP. So it would suck from there. As a Knicks fan, I want to see my guys on the court. I want to see them healthy, most importantly in the postseason. So if this is kind of like a blessing in disguise, because we've seen how hard Tom Thibodeau is running these guys when it comes to their minutes, maybe this is a blessing for us that Carl Anthony Towns takes some time and misses a couple of games right now, because yes, I would like them to win games in January, but what games are more important? Games in January or games in June in the postseason, in the playoffs? I think the games in June are more important. June, this is how it is. I'm such a Knicks fan. We haven't been to the postseason. I don't even know what fucking month the NBA playoffs in. That's how bad it is as a Knicks fan.
No, April. April.
Yeah.
April, right? Yeah. Me too. Because trust me, I'm already in the mindset where, yo, when is baseball starting? Because
oh my god, it's right around the corner. I had Dexter. First of all, shout out to Dexter Henry. Dexter Henry was on the Yankee show yesterday, and baseball season is right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers are right there. Like I said, I'm planning on being down in Florida February 17th, around like the same time of the month, because they have like inter-squad games. So make sure you guys tune into the channel. We're still gonna be having our Knicks content. Make sure you guys follow Uptown Sports on TikTok. We're gonna be doing some TikTok lives. Hopefully, the app doesn't disappear. I'm praying to like the Chinese spy that's been watching me for the past 2 years that they make sure this app doesn't disappear.
I'm a big TikTok. Yo, coming from a person who didn't even want TikTok. Yo, when TikTok was coming out, I was like, yo, I'm never getting that. Like, y'all stupid for getting TikTok. Like,
Mhm.
I
I'm
was
not
the same way.
immature. Next thing
I
you
was
know,
the same
I'm
way.
hooked on TikTok. I'm like, you
Yeah.
can't tell me nothing about TikTok. Don't talk negative because I'm gonna shut you down, TikTok.
Facts. I'm going down. I'm just going through different feeds. I'm just watching different pottery classes. I'm killing it. Shout out to the chat again. Jonathan says there's 13 likes. We got over 160 people in the building.
Come
We got over
on.
30
Shout
people
out
on
to
YouTube.
y'all.
If you
Give
guys can
like,
smack
like.
that like button, hit that subscribe button. When it comes to subscribers, we're sitting at 4,792. 8 away from 4,800, 208 away from 5K. Help us out. Show some love to the channel. Super chats are always appreciative. So now I want to switch the conversation. I brought it up earlier with Josh Hart and Tom Thibodeau and Josh Hart calling players out. And some people thinking that it's OG Anunoby because, like you said, Nikki, OG's 41 million for whatever he's making. You need to step up when we need you. You getting paid like the big bucks. You need to start acting like you getting those big bucks. So I want to bring up this graphic right here. Stephen Bondi says that Tom Thibodeau said that Josh Hart needs to think and watch film before he calls out his teammates. Karla, what's your thoughts on that? And then throw it over to Nikki.
Listen, I mean, we don't know if he is calling out a female. You hear me? A teammate. It could be. It could be not. I forgot where I want to tell you, I had to be in a space, to be all honest for you, to you. They were coming up with that they were saying that they think it was OG. And I wish I could remember everything because I hate when I'm like multitasking and trying to listen to stuff, but I do remember that much. And they were saying how supposedly it looking like OG, he wanted this big role, but he also wanted to help, and it's looking like now, I guess, behind closed door. Again, this is what just thinking about. Yeah. It's looking like behind closed door, he's upset how he's not getting the help, but at the same time, it's like, but you wanted this big role, so I mean, that's what happens. No, like, I mean, you're gonna get the help at times, obviously, as much as you can, but everybody's looking at you. Well, you're the guy, so you got, just like how the captain is. He's him. So as much as he wants help, especially in times where it's like, okay, yo, I need the help, everybody's looking at him, but you're him. You're supposed to make it happen. And rather that is the truth now that what Josh said is for OG. We wouldn't know. Obviously, we can't sit there and say it. It kind of does make sense, only for the fact, and I'm only saying this because of how OG has been playing. Like, now that I think about it, like, ever since I heard that and I started thinking about like how he's been playing, I've been watching back the highlights of past few games before Josh said that. I kind of see it. I see why Josh would say that, but at the same time, I mean, we don't know. It could just be for again, like how I said the last show, it could be for the whole team. Regardless, rather who it is, if it's for one person, the whole team, if he's just saying it just to say it because he knows this is what the fans want to hear, or whatever the case is, he's right about what he's saying. You get me? This team does need to get it together, and this whole ego stuff or whatever, if that is happening behind closed doors that we just don't know about it, yeah, it kind of has to stop, because we need to get these wins, and y'all need to get this again, going back to defense. We need to get it together. Like the last game with the Sixers, I still was I'm glad we got the win. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't happy how we won. I mean, yeah, everybody was like, oh, at least we got the win. You're right. I'm not gonna sit here and be those fans like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like, and want to be talking negative about the team when they lose. But I'm still upset with how we winning, how we played. Like, why was that game so close how it was? Why did we go to overtime? Like, it's just so much that it's just like, this should have never happened.
Yeah.
Like, especially against the Sixers. Like, come on, bro. Y'all killing me right now. Again, I don't know what's happening. Maybe they do need to have a team meeting. Like, look, with the Mets, with Francisco Lindor, when they had their slump, he did this whole team meeting, and look where we ended up, almost to the World Series. So if they need to do that, they need to do it like right now. Get it
Hmm.
together so we could like again. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows who has to do it? Rather
Mhm.
be Tibbs, the captain, Josh, whoever. Point is, let's get to it. Let's
Yeah.
get a team meeting. I don't know. Go out to dinner. Do something where y'all talk about what's happening because clearly there's something happening behind closed doors. We see it on the court. Like we can't sit here and say that we don't
Mhm.
see it. No, something's happening. What it is, who knows? Not that I don't care, but it's just something needs to happen. Something needs
Yeah.
to happen. And Josh, it looks like he's putting it out there. He's starting to put it out there. Like, look, yes, some not. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Not that something's happening, but like, all right, guys, look how y'all playing. We need to get it together a little bit more.
When there's cracks in the glass, the foundation is not 100% solid. And I think right now with the New York Knicks, it's kind of to that degree. When you look at our starters, I think everybody could admit our 1 through 5 is a solid 1 through 5. Again, we're
Hmm.
focusing on our bench. And when you look at our bench, people that have been struggling or players that have been struggling recently, Precious Achua and Deuce McBride. Both guys coming back from injury. Precious sat out more than Deuce. Precious missed majority to start the season. So I feel Precious has to find his rhythm,
Right.
get comfortable, just like with Deuce McBride coming back from that hamstring injury. You're not going to be a hamstring is very difficult, and an oblique injury is very difficult just to come back and be just like you was before you got injured. So you got to give these guys some time. On top of it, Mitchell Robinson is coming back. Whether we trade Mitchell Robinson, whether we keep Mitchell Robinson, it would just add another piece that we could use coming off the bench. So we still have some options. We just got to wait for this team to get healthy. The trade deadline is around the corner. I want to shout out some chats real quick. My guy On Dios NYK is in the building. On Dios, how you doing, my guy?
Hey.
Salute to you. D Raz is in the building. Tuco Salamanca is in the building. First of all, I love that name, right? Even though he's from Queens, he's a Met fan. I love that name because Breaking Bad was one of my favorite shows. So shout out to you, Tuco. Who else? Jorge Ortiz, who's still rocking with us. Kareem Grant is in the building. Our guy Jonathan Jacob Petruzzi. Appreciate all you guys. Smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Now, hold on. Sorry, I just got a notification on. Sorry.
Go over there.
When we're looking
These kids,
at the land, it's children, that's what it's supposed to do. They're gonna pop up on TV, that's what happens. But when you look at the landscape of players that we could trade, one player that's come up, and it's somebody we talked about on the show, is Jericho Sims, right? The Knicks recap put it out there that the Knicks' willingness to listen to trade offers for Jericho Sims is on a reflection on how positively Ariel Hockpurdy has been viewed throughout the organization, per Ian Begley. Nikki, toss it over to you to lead the conversation, because you and we was propping Sims up, saying that, give the guy some credit. He started finding himself. He's matured. He was a second-round pick with the Knicks, just like Deuce, and now they're looking like he may get traded. What's your thoughts on that, Nikki? Skills, and apparently to Houston is like the rumor.
I think that just shows how desperate we are to make a change to the bench. I wouldn't personally get rid of Jericho right now. I don't think it's necessary. I think, especially with this situation now with Cat's finger, I don't think it's warranted unless you know for sure you're getting Mitch back, and then you got Mitch to play with Cat along with Hackporty. Then maybe I just think it might be a move out of desperation. Going back to the OG topic though, one thing I wanted to mention, there was a game where he kept attacking the hoop and he fell real bad. Do you remember when he
Oh,
fell? Ever since then, that man hasn't been the same.
mm,
Period. He hasn't been
mm,
the same. Even when you go back to look at the second half of that game, there were glimpses of hesitation because OG always attacks the hoop. He wasn't attacking the same. So when Josh says something like that, I don't know whether it's to get OG back to thinking and playing the way that he was playing ball before. Because ever since that whole situation, he hasn't played that way. Then,
mm.
even with the
Great
Tibbs
point.
comment, to me, the Tibbs comment is like telling him, hey, stuff that happens at home, you keep in the house. You know what I mean? You saw how Pat Riley went off on Jimmy for saying what he said. So I think that's just Tibbs' way of saying like, oh yeah, we don't talk family business in the street and like chill. That's how I took it.
Right.
But I really don't think if we do make a move with Jericho, is only out of desperation because we're really that desperate for getting another body on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I got 100% agree. Go ahead, Carla.
Right. I'm sad. Yeah, no, I Sims the baby. Like, I all right. I know there's only so much that we could be like, okay, give him a shot, give him time, but it's just like, how much time are we gonna give him? Like,
Mhm.
if he's not for this team, he's not the fit for this team, and it's okay. Like we said that before, about a lot of other players, like random, like maybe this wasn't the team for you, and you could shine somewhere else, just like RJ right now, and quickly, like
Mhm.
you're shining somewhat, which is fine. Wish that could have happened here. It's not happening.
Right.
With I do agree with what Nikki said, because it's just kind of like, but why now we're talking about that out of nowhere? Like I feel like it's very out of the blue. You get me? Like out of all the players, Sims we're picking on to be like, yo, let's talk
Yeah.
about him. He has been trying. I feel like
Mhm.
especially the last few games, look, he's starting tonight. He obviously he's doing some impact for Tibbs to be like he's starting. Cause let's be for real, I'm pretty sure he could have started somebody else, besides Sims, and we all know how Tibbs is. If you're not showing up, you're not doing what he likes. He's not gonna start you for what? Why is he gonna give you minutes off the bench now, especially to now go on start five? Clear he's doing some type of impact. Do I want to trade him? I'll be honest. Yes, no, yes. More to the yes, just for the fact, like I said, what? Yeah, maybe he is just not the piece for this team, and maybe
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
trade from somebody who does actually make a bigger difference. Not saying that Sim wasn't making no difference, but it's just like, what if we get somebody who does make a bigger difference, who plays better coming off the bench, especially with our guys. And now adding Mitch too, it's like, again, going back, we got to see what's going to happen now when Mitch comes. Are minutes going to go down, which I freaking hope minutes would go down, because right now, like, all right, we spoke about it. I know I said, like, oh, maybe I'm pretty sure the players would sit there and tell Tibbs, like, yo, I'm tired. I don't want to play so much. And I think right now with Cap being out so many games, well, not so many games, but since he's out games, I feel like that's a little right there. Like,
Mhm.
okay, that's his way of saying, like, all right, I'm tired. Like, I need a
Mhm.
break. Like, I need a day off, which
Yeah.
we all need a day off. Like, our jobs, like, let's be for real. I don't have days where I'm like, yo, I need this Monday off because I'm just tired from work. Like, F that, you know?
Mhm.
Like I'm that's another thing I'm hoping, where if we do get Mitch back or if we do trade for whoever, I hope minute wise they start going down, because it's ridiculous now at this point how Tibbs has these players playing so many minutes. Like I'm scared. It's come to the point I'm kind of starting to worry where injury prone. Like
Mhm.
you're so tired, like when you're just tired, you're just like, yo, whatever. That, and it's like, okay, are you still gonna have this energy by the end of the season?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we make it to playoff, I mean, we gotta win some games. We can't just be there like, yo, whatever, and be the first round exit. Like, I'll be tight. I'll be
A-
pissed.
Oh yeah.
And that's where questioning the philosophy of the head coach, that's one thing fans love to do, especially us Knicks fans. We love to be armchair quarterbacks, armchair head coaches from the computer, from the internet, from TikTok or Twitter. But for me, I feel ultimately it's going to come down to health. If this team can stay healthy, because last year in the postseason, what happened? Josh Hart got injured. Jalen
Mhm.
Brunson broke his hand. Julius Randle was gone for the rest of the season. OG Anunoby got injured and in that series against the Indiana Pacers. So that's what hurt us, was those injuries. And Nikki, that's a great point you bring up about OG Anunoby. I totally forgot about it. That's when he went to go and dunk it, and he hung on to
Yes.
the rim, and he fell on his elbow that he got surgery with,
I'm trying to
right?
remember.
And
Yeah.
when that happened, I was like, ugh. And his shooting has been horrible. The volume scoring has been
Mhm.
down ever since that injury, and that's a great way to point that out, Nikki. Thank you so much, because I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, even the way because before then, how many times we said that he should have went in the dunking contest because he was consistently attacking the hoop. He's
Right.
not attacking it no more. So we don't know if there's an underlying injury or who knows if the man is just scared. Because I'm not gonna lie, while Carla was talking, I was trying to Google what game it was that he fell.
Mhm.
And that man consistently falls and messes up a wrist, a hand. That's how his reputation is for getting injured. So
Wasn't
who
it
knows
like
if he's
last
trying?
game as was it the last game or between OKC? Like he had a bad fall too. Or maybe that's probably I think it was
I think it
OKC.
was before OKC for
Was
some
it?
reason, I want to
But I
say.
know in the last few games, I don't think
The
the last
last few games he's been getting beat up because I know he's been
yeah,
hit in the
but
face. He's been all this
But there
stuff.
was
Yeah.
also a game recently too that I remember because I remember tweeting that I was just like, "Damn, that was a bad fall." Maybe it was
Yeah.
the one that you're talking, but I know recently that like there was a bad. Now that you're mentioning, I'm thinking about it too. That I'm like, yeah, he's been falling
A
off
lot.
lately. Like it's been bad. We're just like, bro, can you stop? Because you get
Mhm.
injured, I'm gonna be really tight.
Yeah,
Because
it
even
was
since
it
that one,
was
yeah.
it was 2 weeks ago that happened. It was two
What?
weeks ago that OG Anunoby fell on his elbow. That's what I'm looking as of right. Yeah, it was January 4th, 2025. So it was
And
at
ever
literally
since
at
then, the numbers dropped. No.
and ever since
Yeah.
then he has been struggling. That's a great way to point that
Mhm.
out because when you look at our team, right? Tom Thibodeau, he doesn't get credit on development, right? But when you look
Mhm.
at players that he has developed, Deuce McBride, Jericho
Oh my god,
Sims,
that was the game.
and that was that game, yeah.
Yeah, because
And
I literally went back my tweet. I'm like, yo, I know I posted it. Literally, yeah. That I was like, damn, OG. I was like, damn, I hope OG is good. That was a nasty fall.
yeah, that
Mhm.
was a nasty fall. And I remember when it happened, I was like, oh, hopefully he doesn't fucking miss any time.
Yeah,
But to
that was.
Jorge's point, right? Jorge Ortiz's point, he says, not for nothing. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Sims, but when he's on the court, the rim defense is a lot better than when Cat is on the floor. I'm not disagreeing with you
Oh yeah.
whatsoever, right? Jericho Sims, he has risen his stock not only with the New York Knicks, but his stock as a basketball player in the NBA, and every other team understands how valuable or what he brings to the court. The fact that the Knicks have Hawk Purdy and the team and people with the organization are falling in love with Hawk Purdy, the Knicks are trying to trade from their strength. They're trying to get an extra
Mhm.
wing defender or an extra guard to come off of the bench. And if you have Hawk Purdy, you could trade Jericho Sims, who has more value than Hawk Purdy does right now. Hawk Purdy has hardly played. So you could trade Jericho Sims and bring in maybe a veteran wing or a veteran a guard that can help Deuce McBride and this Knicks team when it comes to that 6-man coming off of the bench.
Or even a more consistent three or a
Yeah.
scorer because we need another scorer off the bench. Now we were just saying with the whole Dante situation, if we could just get someone who can give you a consistent 10, 12 points off the bench, it's a totally different game. Because right now we're relying on everybody. It seems when you're looking at the NBA in the whole entirety, a lot of these teams they play the player one game or two, then they rest them, then they
Mhm.
play them, then they rest them. I noticed they did it with Hartenstein. They just rested him yesterday. Everybody's doing a rotation of who plays and who goes. Unfortunately, when you're playing an 82 game season, and on top of that, technically you're playing more because the games in the tournament don't even count. So you're putting these guys through all this stuff. The players and the league has no choice but to rotate who plays and who doesn't play.
Mhm.
So at this moment, hey, we already beat Minnesota earlier this year. We got the advantage. We're home. Then Julius looked horrible last game. I think they benched him at the crunch time in Minnesota.
For real?
Yeah, they benched him. They said the last couple games in crunch time he hasn't even been playing. They played Dante over him.
The Minnesota Twin. I keep on. This is one thing. I keep on confusing the Tims with the Timberwolves with the Twins. That's something that I've always done for like forever.
Mhm.
But the Minnesota Timberwolves, their fan base, they cannot. They're done with Julius
They're
Randle.
done.
They're done.
Mhm.
They're done with Julius. It
Damn.
took us, and
What?
people say New Yorkers are impatient. It hasn't even been a whole half of a season yet,
That's what
and
I'm saying. Like,
Timberwolves fans,
yeah, I was
they're
literally about to say that. I'm
done.
like, yo, but it hasn't even been a full season. How the hell are they done with random?
They're
Like,
done with Randall. You could go online. There's memes with Julius Randle being
yo,
followed by Luigi. If you guys know the guy Luigi who killed the CEO. They're making the memes with Luigi following Julius Randle. It is hysterical. Shout out to the Timberwolves fans that knows what us Knicks fans have gone through over the past few years with Julius Randle. But again, shout out to Randle because he came here when nobody did wanted to, and he became an all-star here with the New York Knicks. So I will never forget Julius Randle for his run. But you had some good moments and you had some down moments. You had some moments that I was cheering for you, and you had some moments that I was scratching my head because I was just annoyed.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine if he did the thumbs down in Minnesota
Oh,
in front of
God.
those people? Like, no. Read the room.
Right.
Read
Like how Billy be saying, read the room.
right.
Read the room.
Like,
Yeah.
no. It'll be
Oh, man.
snowballs at him.
I want to
Screw that.
shout out our people that's watching us on Instagram right now. My guy DJ Trace is in the building. Shout out to Hot 97's DJ Trace, who joined, who said, Knicks Tate, we are in the building. Shout out to you. Veronica 4579, Merc So Saucy. We got 4 alumni in the building. Lance Wells, shout out to you. Muffins Mama 27, shout out to you as well. The Stromboli King, that's a funky ass name, the Stromboli King. Shout out to you as well. Appreciate you guys. Click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. All right, last topic we gotta go because the Knicks game is about to start right now. Let's get some predictions. Let's get some scores. Nikki, you can start it out. What's your thoughts for today's game? Who's having highs? Who's having lows? Who's having a good game and who's having a trash game?
I think Julius is going to try to do his thing and go ISO like he did last time. So he might have a decent quarter or two, but I'm not expecting a big game from him. Dante's not playing, but you got Ant. So I'm going to go Knicks, but knowing the way we've been playing recently, I'm going to say the score is under 10. So let's go 113. 107 Knicks is what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. Nikki, always with the solid numbers. You got to send me some numbers for the 4-digit, 6-digit.
Let's go.
Yeah, you got to start sending some numbers so we can start playing.
I love how she does that because I'm like, I can never do that. Like, I'll be so off with the numbers.
Girl, my dad had me picking numbers when I was little. Give me 4 numbers, whatever you need.
Oh, my grandma was the same thing, and my grandfather used to like run the numbers for the numbers spot in Brooklyn where we used to live over there.
That's funny. Yeah, Knicks. Well, I hope we win. I do agree. I don't think Randle is gonna. I'll be surprised if he shows out tonight. Just only for the fact the way. Like, listen, if we start off the first half slow as hell, whack as hell, who knows? It might give Randle the battery. Put the battery in his back and want to show off. I'll be really tight. I'm gonna say it right now. Yo, Randle shows off here at the Garden. I'm gonna be really sick. Like, I won't be cheering for him, but I'm gonna be really, really sick. Like, you couldn't do this. Wow, like you did it a few times, but it's like if you go off of it, I'm gonna be tight. But I don't really see, if anything, I just see Ant-Man probably doing the most for this game. I do hope our players, especially Sims. Like, I always get excited when Sim is starting in the starting 5, because it's just like. This is your chance. You got me? Like, you're starting 5. This is your chance. Show Tiz why you shouldn't be traded. You got me? And on top of that, to trust you with more minutes. So I'm praying every time. I always pray. I'm like, oh, Simmons starting 5. Okay, I hope he has a good night. And make an impact where it matters the most. Like, even if you're not putting up the most points or whatever the case is, I really do hope he has a good night tonight. And it's just not sucking where we're all talking shit about, like, damn, take Sims off the court, because that be making me sad. I'm like, oh, it's like I look at him like my baby, my son, like, oh, don't
Bendito.
But overall, I hope all our players have a good night. Cat is not playing tonight, correct?
Yeah, Cat's not playing tonight.
So I hope, just because Cat is out, this doesn't mean that we gotta play like shit. Like, I hope we play good, all our players. Score wise, I ain't gonna do that, Nikki. That was all you. That's all you. I don't know my numbers. I'm still practicing from Nikki. And one day I'll get it. One day I'm gonna surprise you and be like, "So I
I know,
think
right?
Nikki." You're gonna look at me like, "Wait, what?"
Nah. I want to shout out. I want to shout out Double A, and the Theo Double A is in the building. He says, "I found you, Hector. Blessings, my nephew. Shout out
Aw.
to the ladies, Nikki and Skills. Tonight will be OG Sims Raw Deal. Double A. Shout out to Double A. First of all,
Shout out
Double A
to
is the
you.
fittest 60-year-old that I know in my life. My man wakes up, he eats raw eggs, he eats raw steaks, he does push-ups, and he watches his Knicks. Shout out to Double A. Appreciate Double A. Always love him. Always showing love to the channel. Shout out to Ondios as well. Jonathan, Donnie Clark is in the building. Jorge Ortiz, my brother James Woody is in the building. Shout out to you, Woo. For me, with no Carl Anthony Towns, like I said earlier, the Jalen Brunson list and the Carl Anthony Towns list minutes are the most important minutes for the New York Knicks. Having Jericho Sims start, I'm not sure how he's going to react to this. I know he missed the last game. Also with the trade rumors that are circulating, I don't know how his head is going. Jericho Sims is also a guy that's very to himself, very quiet. He's not an emotional person. He's big as hell, but he's very quiet to himself. So I'm not sure how he's handling all the rumors on top of starting right now, coming back from missing the last game. So hopefully he has a good showing out, right? Hopefully he builds his trade value. Hopefully he goes out there, he gets 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, drops 10 points. So a team like the Houston Rockets could want to trade for him. I wish Jericho Sims all the best. If it's with us, cool. If it's not, hopefully he could find some minutes in the NBA because he definitely deserves to get regular minutes in the NBA. That's the one thing Sims does deserve.
Yeah, he
Amen.
definitely does. I going back, I feel like if given the chance, I feel like he could show something what he's really made of. But the coach that we have, unfortunately, there's that. So hopefully tonight he could, like you said, Hector. Hopefully tonight he could definitely shows out again, even if it's just a build up his trade value. Listen, I ain't gonna be mad at you. You get us a win. You're shutting people down to not talk shit about you. I mean, can I be upset about that? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be upset about the trade, but whatever. It is what it is. The point is to win a chip this year. Hopefully, God willing.
I want to ask you guys, ladies, before we leave, right? You remember back in the day, like when Blackberries were a thing and like BBM messaging, you had like a status, right? You had like a status that you would leave, or like AIM, you had an away message if somebody messaged you and you weren't there. So I want to ask you, ladies, what's your away message for Knick fans right now until we come back next week? If you have one message for Knick fans, what's your BBM status for Knick fans right now going into tonight's game, into the next time we come back?
Stop bitching. Let's go Knicks. Literally, stop bitching. Let's go Knicks. Like, people are not happy. Let's this is not Burger King. We can't have it our way all the time.
Word.
Come on, man. Just stop bitching. Let's root for this team. Let's be happy for this team when we're on highs, when we're the low. Let's just support them and show them, like, regardless if we're on this low, we still fuck with y'all. Stop. That's simple. Stop with this whole negative crap. Like, that'd be stressing me out.
Nikki, what about you? What's your going away message? What's your message for Knicks fans?
It's funny how she went with food, because I was just thinking, like, the pot is simmering. You gotta let it cook. You can't go too high. You can't go too low. So just let the pot simmer.
Right.
We'll come back in a week and open the lid and see exactly what we got. But just let it simmer right now and see what happens.
Facts. That's like when your mom's making the arroz con gandules, don't go into the kitchen and take the fucking metal foil all over the pot. Don't do that, because you're gonna mess up the texture
steam
of the rice. It's gonna be mushy if you do that. All right. If you know, you know. For me, I would say, to piggyback over both you guys say, Knick fans, go outside and touch some grass. That was a message that I had the entire baseball season when Yankee fans and even Met fans were just being out of pocket. Go outside, touch some grass. The world's not coming to an end. The Knicks are the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. It is January 17th.
Yes.
We're not even at the All-Star break. And the Knicks are the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Go outside, touch some grass, drink some water, say something positive about yourself, and don't be a douchebag. That's my going away message for Knicks fans in the building. Shout out to Jorge Ortiz. Appreciate you. James Woody, Double A, our guy Jonathan, Donnie Clark. Shout out to everybody who showed up, who tuned into the show. Like always,
everybody.
Share this on all social media platforms. Share this in your group chats with your homies. Ladies, last words. Say bye to the chat, and then we out of here.
Go Knicks. We'll be back next week.
Facts. Let's go, Knicks. Be positive.
And vote. Vote,
yes.
Hector, you're wearing a Cousin Eddie hat. First of all, it is cold as fuck, right? And I just wanted to say also, people may be like, why is he not wearing any Knicks gear? I'm wearing my Kobe Bryant Lower Marion jersey because the anniversary for Kobe Bryant's passing is coming up. For him and his daughter Gianna. They passed away tragically in a horrible, horrible helicopter crash. So I'm wearing this on live streams for this entire week. It was a jersey that I got for this actual high school jersey from the team that he played in high school from Lower Marion. So I'm rocking this for this entire week every day. I do wash it, right? So nobody make no jokes saying my ass thing. No, I take showers, okay? All right. But until next, shout out to DN, appreciate you. And until next time, I'm your guy Hector. Let's see if we can get this right.
I'm Nikki.
No, you got to throw it the other way because we're mirrored. You got to throw that.
Oh, okay, this way.
Yo, I hate you. I'm Nikki, girl, the other way.
It's always the other left. The other left.
Right?
Appreciate you guys. You guys go outside, touch some grass, drink some water. Until next time, deuces.
Presente, oggi sasso.
Putaria, sanungueo.
Is out in the night, paying it for it and it don't matter the price. Boom boom more than now here moving so right. Get shaking tonight, dama todo rulay. If you know me, then you know that I would never deny. Tengo mi terio and I will show you tonight. So the putaria has my future so bright, bringing it to the light. Un foqueo rulay. I said this tape is not for ignorant babosos. Steady rep that 718. Melting pot that done made me famoso. That's from New York City, verdadero sancocho. Invoco al un gumbale yo. Me monto y me da la hinchazón. Spitting out, keep